This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you. On the next Discover the Upper Cumberland, we catch up with former Smithville Fiddle Champion Sierra Hull. Next, we ride along with a Run for the Wall veteran motorcycle ride across the country. And then we head down to the Muddy River Festival. All of this and more on the next Discover the Upper Cumberland, right here on WCTE, your Upper Cumberland PBS.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture.
Welcome to Discover the Upper Cumberland, the series, where we explore our region of Tennessee. I'm your guide, Desiree Duncan. The Smithville Fiddlers Jamboree is much more than a festival that features local folk art and culture. It's also a cradle for great artists. In this story, we meet Sierra Hull and Gary Peters, two different generations of amazing musicians that had their beginning at the Jamboree. Producer Daniel Duarte met up with Sierra and Gary for a quick chat about the impact the Jamboree has had on their lives.
Should I lead? Should I lay low? If I ask you.
Hey, I'm Sierra Hull. I grew up in Byrdstown, Tennessee, and I remember coming to the Smithville Fiddlers Jamboree for the first time about a year after I started playing mandolin. I started playing when I was 8 years old, and the next year when I was 9, I came to the Jamboree, you know, a little gal just learning to play mandolin, didn't really have a whole lot of experience even playing on stage at that point, and let alone being on TV. I remember that was kind of like, oh wow, a lot of my family watched it back home. I think the tune I played was Jerusalem Ridge, which was one of the first Bill Monroe tunes I had learned, and I didn't place at all, shouldn't have, but you know, got up there and it was such a good experience for getting up there and performing in front of an audience, and wasn't really expecting a whole lot out of it as far as like to place or anything like that, just going there for the experience, to be part of all the jam sessions that we knew would happen out around the square, and to hear other musicians, meet other musicians, and then and that was a pretty exciting experience in, you know, a young person's life like that, and a good motivator, you know, to have sort of a goal you set and you work towards that for the next year. So I always look back at that as an early experience and a really, you know, special one for me as a kid. Well, having spent some of my earliest memories and times going to the Smithville Fiddlers Jamboree and thinking about what that meant to me, it's always really cool now as I get older to go back and watch when it's on television to try to keep up with what young kids are competing in the contest these days. And I had the chance to go back for the first time in many years last year, and I met this fella right here, Gary Peters, who's an amazing young mandolin player, only 11 years old. And how many times have you been to Smithville?
2.
2 times. So he's been 2 times to Smithville, one of being last year, and we're going to play a tune. What do you want to play, Gary?
About Big Sail.
Let's do it.
Okay. When I was around 3, we went to the symphony a lot. So there was this toy violin there that they always had, and I begged and pleaded for it, and they got it for me, and I started playing around, holding it up like I knew how to play it. I asked to get a real one, and they said, okay, sure, do you want to do, you know, what style? So I started with classical, and then when I was around 8.5 or 9, I started doing fiddle and bluegrass. Improvisation is a big part of this, you know, to just sit down and just noodle, and I come up with some cool thing, and then I don't turn it to a song right away, but then when it's stuck in my head forever and I keep playing it when I don't know it, I'm like, hey, this would be a cool thing for a song. It's pretty easy. I mean, you just start noodling around, and really anything you do can be a song.
Is this an original tune of yours?
Yeah.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm here with Ellen Wolf of Seed Fork of the Highlands. Thanks for joining us, Ellen.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the organization and what you do in the area.
Well, we have Seed Fork of the Highlands, and Seed Fork is about horticultural therapy. We have a community garden where different agencies and people come and they work in the garden, and then they get free food and they help themselves by feeling better working in the garden. And we do workshops and cooking schools and do farm-to-table dinners.
Nice. And I understand you work with a lot of veterans in the community.
Yes, we are trying to get the veterans to come out to the community garden, hoping to get raised beds so that they will be able to, not have to get down into the garden, but have waist-high raised beds. And we've done that at the Senior Citizen Center, too. We've developed raised beds out there and at the Schuyler House. So, yes, we work with veterans.
And how did this organization get started?
Well, I do life coaching. I have a life coaching business in town at 39 West Broad Street. And Rodney Lalo has the Backroom Bistro, and so he cooks and I garden and do therapy. And we just decided to put this all together and decided to call it Seed Fork, which is the seeds to the eating with the fork. And in 2 years, we have been a 501c3 for over a year, but in 2 years, because we started the gardens last year, it has mushroomed. We have programs all over the place. In fact, I just came from the Upper Cumberland Development District, putting in place cooking schools and workshops for disabled people around the Upper Cumberland County. And I will be working with elderly folks or grandparents that are raising their grandchildren. And I'll have 2 to 3 hours to show them some recipes and some healthy food. And we're partnered with the Downtown Green Market. So we get healthy food, a local food from the Downtown Green Market.
Nice. And you all have an event coming up where all of this is kind of culminating in an actual fork event, right?
That's right. Celebration of Local Foods, Farm to Fork event on July the 16th. And in the morning, there will be a 5K race starting at the First Presbyterian Church parking lot at 7 o'clock. So I hope everybody that walks or runs will sign up for that. And then the celebration of local foods starts at 6. There will be a VIP experience starting at 4:30 in the Backroom Bistro, so you can get tickets for that. And then the dinner will be in Dogwood Park from starting around 6 o'clock. And we are selling tickets for that. And that will be a benefit for 4-H, FFA, and to get the supplies needed to get the leftover local food from the farmers market, Downtown Green Market, as well as food from our community garden out into the community. People have brought to our attention the need to get local food to impoverished communities or the soup kitchens. There are lots of kitchens. Tennessee Tech now has a refrigerator. It's always great when these kitchens have refrigerators so you can put fresh food into it. So we're hoping to be able to be the vehicle that can supply the food to communities, individuals, or pantries, food pantries.
That's awesome. And so this event is to raise awareness of that?
Yes, awareness of that and raise funds for that. The farmers will all be there, and they're going to sit interspersed with the people and talk and tell people where their food came from, which gardens it was, how it was cooked. And so this is an educational event, education and healthy eating event to help people to eat local food.
And it's nice to have folks that maybe aren't a part of that movement to finally get a chance to talk to some farmers.
That's right. Yeah, people don't necessarily know. I mean, they go through and they buy, but to actually have time to talk to the farmers and talk about cooking and recipes. We're working with 4 different chefs in town. Rodney Lalo is one of the chefs, and Steve Ford is a chef, and Chad Combs is a chef, and Michelle from the Cupcake, P. Dilly's Cupcake in our building, 39 West Broad Street. So 4 different chefs, 10 different farmers, and the community.
All right, and where can folks go to get more information on this?
Seedfork.org, our website, has a link to event.bright, or eventbrite.com is the where you can buy tickets, or you can buy tickets at the Backroom Bistro or from the farmers market. There are several of the farmers that have tickets.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Ellen.
Thank you for having me. See you at the dinner.
And we'll be back with more Discover the Upper Cumberland. Tennessean Sean Meadows, a United States Air Force veteran wounded in Afghanistan, was chosen to lead the Run for the Wall motorcycle ride into Cookeville, riding a custom-built trike fashioned exclusively for him. Run for the Wall is a large group of motorcycle enthusiasts and veterans who make the pilgrimage from California to the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. to promote healing among veterans and their families and friends. Producer Craig Gray brings us footage from the ride-along stop in Cookeville.
My name is John Barker. They also know me as Hard Charger. I'm the chairman of the Combat Hero Bike Build, and what we do is we select a veteran every year. And this year we selected Staff Sergeant Sean Meadows. And then we fly them to Medford, Oregon, where they meet the builder, Thunderstruck Customs. And we start with measuring them to the motorcycle, figuring out what they like, what they don't like, get into their head a little bit. And when they see the bike there, it looks nothing like what you see here. And then while we send them on home, 9 months later we unveil it in front of about 800 riders down in Ontario, California. And then I bring it back to their hometown. Sean lives right down in Linville, Tennessee, and we'll be delivering to his hometown on Wednesday.
Sean Meadows, United States Air Force. I was a combat controller. I was in the service 9 years. I joined after 9/11 and medically retired in January of 2011. Yeah, we were in a convoy when our Humvee ran over an IED. It's how I became a bilateral above-knee amputee. And I was pretty angry when 9/11 happened, and I wanted to take the fight to them. So I heard about combat control through my stepfather, actually, and I couldn't work behind a desk. I couldn't do a regular job, so I went in combat control. So bringing the fight to them instead of them coming over here, bringing it to us. Yeah, I was stationed at Herbert Field, Florida. I was stationed there for my first duty station, and then I went from there and went to McCord Air Force Base, Washington. And while I was there, I made 3 deployments, Iraq once, Afghanistan twice. It was that 3rd deployment where I was attached with ODA team, Army SF, and we were on a combat recce patrol when we ran over the IED. I got linked up with Eagles Warrior through a gentleman named Ronnie Raines. He's out of Odessa, Texas. And another friend of mine, Donovan Chapman, went to Ronnie Raines and talked that he wanted to do something for me, and I had no idea. He kind of did this all low-key. John Barker and Ray McDowell, they gave me a call one day, and basically, needless to say, after 2 days of back and forth, they were going to build me a bike.
The bike is built specifically for that veteran, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And with this one, his emblem unit is on the front of this. When he wasn't looking, we snapped a picture of his hat and then replicated it down there. This bike, as it's set up right now, has a double braking system up on top. Front and rear brake are both right there. The shifting is all done by thumb over here. The gears go all the way up or all the way down just by using your thumb. This bike also has a reverse on it because amputees can't feel pressure with their legs. So what we do is we put a suicide shifter over here so they can find neutral real easily and then shift it into reverse and back out of situations. Because being an amputee, they have to be able to move around sometimes, and you can't push this thing with their legs the way they are now. So that's the reason we set it up.
Lo and behold, almost 9 months later, they fly me back to Ontario, California, where the Run for the Wall originated, to drive cross country and unveil the bike. And as you can see, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, it's been quite a ride.
Run for the Wall, it's a healing event for most of these guys. It's just something else. Coming into towns like this one, I mean, where people are all over the place, they're thanking you for your service. Most of them, me included, never got thanked for your service. And I've seen grown men crying the first time they get thanked. You just don't know what it's like from the Vietnam era to now, where people actually start treating these heroes like heroes. Like Sean Meadows, everywhere he goes, we've set it up. He's welcomed like a conquering hero. It embarrasses him, but hey, that's part of the game.
I'm here with Valerie Connolly from Fearless, the Golden Love Musical. Thanks for joining us, Valerie.
Well, thank you, Desiree. It's really fun to be here with you.
So tell us a little bit about the musical.
Well, the musical is a double love story, and it has to do with facing life fearlessly as you grow older. The double love story is between a man named Daniel, who is a widower. He's in his 60s. And a woman named Nikki, who is a divorcee after a long marriage. And she's also in her 60s. And her daughter, Maggie, who is approaching 40 and has two daughters who are early teens. And her husband, Jason, who is in his 40s, and he's sort of a high-powered attorney, financial guy. And the reason it's a double love story is that Daniel is courting Nikki, but she's kind of not ready to be courted, although she really is, but she doesn't know it. And so there is all this humorous back and forth between them, and some of it's fairly poignant as well. And his son, Danny, has not moved on from the passing of his mom, Allison, and Allison comes back to talk with Danny. So we have a little fantasy in this story, and it's a lot of fun. It's based on sort of a French existential view of what passing really means. But Allison's a funny character, and yet she brings a good bit of wisdom in the songs that she sings. So she's encouraging her husband to move on with Nikki and encouraging the son to support that, which is hard for him.
Yeah.
He gets himself in trouble. So there's a little drama in this too.
Right.
Maggie, the 40-something mom, really would like to go back to her life as an art expert and has been offered a really great job by a big gallery, and she wants to take that job, and Jason wants to take the family off to London because he's been given a big promotion, and so there's a little going on there, and a lot of soul searching. So this play occurs all on one day, and when we meet these characters, they're all sort of in this hubbub, and we watch them move through the entire day to the evening, and how that particular day is critical to their growth as human beings. And it's a true view of character evolution. Even the kids. I mean, it's really a fun play. There's a lot of humor, very funny songs. And what's wonderful about Mark Creeder is he's really brought that humor out of everybody. He's made those of us who might not be quite so corny or funny really funny. And Jennifer Creeder's dance segments are stunning. And they involve the whole cast sometimes, and other times it's very much a mixture of ballet and modern, and it's just terrific, the things she's done for the show. It's very Broadway.
Nice.
And we have a 21-piece orchestra.
Who's leading the orchestra?
Mendy Richards is our music director. Josh Voiles is our primary pianist. We have two pianos going with Michael Choate playing the second. And then all the rest of the orchestra.
How can folks get tickets, and when and where will it be?
Well, it's at the Cookeville Performing Arts Center. It's at the corner of Broad and Walnut. And the show starts at 7 and will end somewhere around 10:30, something like that. Tickets are available through the box office and also online. If you go to fearlessthemusical.com, there's a link for tickets that takes you right to CPAC, and you can buy them online.
And what are the dates again?
The dates are July 7th through 10th, and then again July 14th through 17th. So it's the 2 weekends right after the 4th of July holiday. The proceeds from this musical are going to be divided between 3 major charities: Habitat for Humanity, the Mustard Seed Ranch, and the Bryan Symphony Orchestra.
Awesome.
And that is the greatest thing. The town has stepped up. We have over 120 businesses that have donated money and items in kind that make it possible for us to look at really giving a substantial amount of the ticket sales to these charities. So when you buy your tickets, you're really supporting 3 wonderful charities in town.
Thanks so much for joining us, Valerie.
Thank you.
And we'll be back with more Discover the Upper Cumberland. And now we head down to Waterloo, Tennessee, located in Overton County, to join producer Logan Hartman for the 3rd annual Muddy River Festival and explore this family-oriented musical farm.
How you feeling out there? Wow, it's so fun.
My name is Michael Hurd. I am the CMO and co-founder of SoundLink Entertainment. We are a full-service production and artist management company based out of Cookeville, Tennessee, totally a grassroots organization. We're out here at Muddy Rivers Music and Arts Festival setting up a sound camp for just a weekend of awesome music and a lot of talented people. A few years ago, some friends got together and started coming out here and kayaking the river once a year, and decided every so often that they would make a festival out of it, and now it's grown into a pretty big thing. 2 stages worth of music, a bunch of great talented vendors and artists and musicians coming out to have a great time together. Some of the best kayakers in the state and in the southeast come out to showcase what they can do, and we're out here showcasing what we can do.
My name is Nick Cross. I am a professional musician in Nashville, Tennessee, and I have booked the main stage this year for Muddy Rivers 2016, also known as Murph. We have over 22 acts this year, all local artists from the Nashville and Cumberland area. We have everything from male or female acts, solo acoustic acts, everything from pop, rock and roll.
We get together and we throw this Muddy Rivers Festival to celebrate the beauty that is the Cumberland Plateau. This event also benefits Team River Runner, which is a service that helps veterans overcome PTSD and service-related injuries through paddling the river. Big highlight here, we have Waterloo Falls, which is a 35-footer. Kayakers get into a feature such as a hole or wave where the water comes over a rock and creates a turbulent feature for them to surf on. It's the same thing as surfing on an ocean wave. You can carve back and forth, and if you're good enough and you can stick it, then you can throw it in and do a loop, which is a front flip. There's tons of stuff that you can do, and the guys that are from Jackson and Liquid Logic are pioneering our sport. You know, the things they can do in these holes and waves are just ridiculous. It's just a chance to rub shoulders with those guys, intermingle with them. You know, I mean, what's better than your first time on the river paddling with Steve Fisher or Pat Keller or Dane Jackson or Nick Troutman or Emily Jackson? You know, I mean, how could you have a better experience than that?
This is a full-scale family event. There's all kinds of wonderful activities between kayaking, canoeing, and they, of course, have, you know, disc golf.
We want this to be a spring event. It's held every year on the first weekend of spring. And so far, it's been beautiful every year. We also give away a free Jackson kayak at every event so far, and it's a whitewater boat of your choice from their whitewater line. We would also like to thank everyone that comes out to support Team River Runners. Our veterans are very worth it. You know, the Cumberland Plateau has some of the best whitewater in the world, and we're so lucky to live here. We're so lucky to have so many other paddlers that are living here too, who can help us get into this awesome sport.
Whether you're just a music lover or a kayaker or just someone who really likes to go camping, it's a great thing for everybody involved.
Come on out to Murph.
For more info on this show and to catch your favorite segments, visit our website, wcte.org/discover. Also, if you have any topic ideas, email them to discover@wcte.org. Thanks for joining us, and remember to get out there and discover the Upper Cumberland.
Funding for this program is provided in part by the United States Department of Agriculture.
This program was made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.